Are you sitting at home right now, wondering when was the last time your children called you, let alone visited? Does it feel like they've forgotten about the parent who raised them, sacrificed for them, and loved them unconditionally? What if I told you that certain phrases, just a few carefully chosen words, could completely transform your relationship with your adult children and have them eagerly wanting to spend time with you again? In this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful phrases that will make your adult children visit more often, with phrase 3 working like absolute magic. These aren't manipulative tricks, they're relationship-building tools that respect your children's independence while creating genuine connection. Let me tell you about Eleanor from Portland. At 73, Eleanor found herself sitting alone most weekends, staring at family photos on the wall. Her son Todd lived just 30 minutes away, but she hadn't seen him in almost 3 months. Every phone call ended the same way. "I'm just so busy, Mom. Maybe next week." Eleanor's heart broke a little more each time. She tried guilt-tripping, which only pushed him further away. She tried bribing with home-cooked meals, which resulted in hurried visits where Todd checked his watch constantly. Eleanor was about to give up when her neighbor shared these exact 7 phrases with her. Skeptical but desperate, Eleanor decided to try them. The transformation was remarkable. Within just a few weeks, Todd was stopping by regularly, sometimes with the grandkids, sometimes just to chat. He even started calling to check if she was free for dinner. "It's like I have my son back," Eleanor told me with tears in her eyes. But really, it's like he has his mother back. Today, I'll show you exactly how Eleanor did it, and how you can do it too. Let's dive into these 7 life-changing phrases. Phrase 1. I'd love your advice on something. When was the last time your adult child felt truly needed by you? Not the other way around? As we age, the dynamic often shifts to us needing help. But what if you could reverse that? Family relationship experts like Dr. Gloria Thompson at the Family Dynamics Institute confirm that asking for advice makes adult children feel valued, respected, and needed in a healthy way. When parents seek advice from their adult children, it signals a recognition of their growth and expertise, says Dr. Thompson. This simple act transforms the relationship from hierarchical to collaborative, which is crucial for healthy adult relationships. Take Richard from Minnesota, for example. At 68, Richard was constantly complaining about not understanding computers, smartphones, or all this internet nonsense. His daughter Amanda, a tech professional, found these conversations draining and started avoiding calls. Everything changed when Richard shifted his approach. Instead of complaining, he called Amanda and said, "I'd love your advice on something. I'm thinking about getting a new tablet to video chat with you and the grandkids. What would you recommend?" Amanda was thrilled to help. She not only recommended a tablet but came over that weekend to help set it up. This created a natural opportunity for connection. Now, Richard regularly asks Amanda's advice on technology questions, and these conversations have opened doors to more frequent, enjoyable visits. Here's what you need to do right now. Identify your child's area of expertise, whether it's technology, cooking, fitness, home decoration, finance, or parenting. Think of a genuine question related to their expertise and reach out specifically asking for their advice on that topic. Be sure to follow up afterward, letting them know how valuable their input was. This isn't a one-time trick, it's about establishing a pattern of mutual respect that makes your relationship more fulfilling for both of you. Wouldn't your relationship benefit from this kind of meaningful exchange? Phrase 2. I understand you're busy. Let's work around your schedule. How often do you find yourself saying, "You never have time for me anymore"? Have these words ever actually resulted in more visits? Or do they just add pressure and guilt that makes your children less eager to call or visit? Leading psychologists specializing in family relationships, including Dr. James Wilcox from the Institute of Family Studies, emphasize that acknowledging adult children's busy lives removes guilt and pressure, the exact emotions that often lead them to avoid visits. When parents recognize and respect their adult children's commitments and responsibilities, it creates psychological space that paradoxically makes children more likely to want to visit, explains Dr. Wilcox. No one enjoys visiting when they feel they're being guilt-tripped for not visiting enough. Consider Barbara from Ohio, whose son Michael, a busy surgeon with 3 young children, rarely found time to visit. Every conversation became tense when Barbara would mention how long it had been since she'd seen him. After learning this technique, Barbara changed her approach completely. The next time they spoke, she said, "Michael, I understand you're incredibly busy with your work and the kids. Let's work around your schedule. Even a quick coffee when you can manage it would mean the world to me." The pressure valve was released immediately. Michael no longer dreaded calls filled with implicit criticism of his choices. Within 2 weeks, he surprised Barbara by stopping by with the kids on a Tuesday evening, something he'd never done before. "It was just for 45 minutes, Barbara told me, but it was the most genuine, relaxed time we'd spent together in years." Here's your immediate action step. The next time you speak with your adult child, explicitly acknowledge their busy schedule without resentment. Offer flexibility instead of expectations. Say these exact words: "I understand you're busy. Let's work around your schedule." Then suggest a couple of options, but make it clear you're open to alternatives. Remember, the goal isn't to secure a visit at any cost. It's to create the conditions where visits happen naturally because they want to see you. Isn't creating that kind of relationship worth changing a few words in your conversations? Phrase 3. I've been trying something new that I think you might enjoy too. Are your conversations with your children always about the same topics? Do visits feel like obligations rather than opportunities for connection? This phrase is the magical one that transformed countless parent-child relationships in our research. Renowned relationship researchers at the University of Washington's Family Connection Lab have found that shared activities create stronger bonds than conversations alone. Their studies show that having something enjoyable to do together reduces awkward silences and creates natural opportunities for meaningful exchange. Shared experiences, particularly those that involve learning or exploring something new together, create what we call sideways intimacy, connection that happens organically while attention is focused elsewhere, explains Dr. Melissa Chen, lead researcher at the lab. This is often more comfortable and effective than face-to-face attempts at emotional connection. William from Texas discovered this power firsthand. His daughter Caitlin, once very close to him, had become increasingly distant after starting her own family. Their monthly phone calls were cordial but superficial. William remembered that Caitlin had always loved cooking as a child, so he enrolled in a cooking class focused on international cuisines. The next time they spoke, instead of his usual, "When are you going to visit?" William said, "I've been trying something new that I think you might enjoy too. I'm learning to make authentic Italian pasta from scratch. I remembered how you always loved cooking. Maybe next time you're free, we could make some together." Caitlin was intrigued. She arranged to visit that very weekend, and they spent hours making pasta together, laughing at mistakes and sharing stories. This became a monthly tradition. William would learn a new cuisine and invite Caitlin to join him. These cooking sessions provided a natural reason to meet regularly and created new shared memories. Here's what you need to do right now. Identify or develop an interest that aligns with one of your adult child's passions. It could be gardening, photography, hiking, cooking, woodworking, anything that creates an opportunity to do something together rather than just talk. The key is that it should be genuinely interesting to both of you and provide a reason for regular interaction. When you reach out, use exactly these words. I've been trying something new that I think you might enjoy too. Then briefly describe your new interest and suggest doing it together. Isn't it time to create new memories instead of just reminiscing about old ones? Phrase 4. I was thinking about that time when you... When was the last time you shared a specific, positive memory with your child? Not generic praise, but a detailed recollection of a moment that showcases their unique qualities? This powerful phrase taps into our fundamental need for recognition and appreciation. Experts in family dynamics at the Center for Family Connection confirm that positive reminiscing strengthens emotional bonds by reinforcing family identity and highlighting valued personal qualities. Specific positive memories serve as emotional anchors in relationships, says Dr. Robert Jameson, family therapist and author of Reconnecting Generations. They remind adult children that you see them as individuals with a history of valued contributions and qualities, not just as people who should visit more often. Susan from Pennsylvania had a strained relationship with her son Derek. Their interactions had become formal and infrequent. After learning this technique, Susan called Derek and said, I was thinking about that time when you were 16 and stayed up all night to fix Mrs. Henderson's car so she could drive to her sister's funeral. I was so proud of your compassion and determination. You've always been someone who goes above and beyond for others. Derek was visibly moved by this specific memory that highlighted qualities he valued in himself. The conversation shifted to other memories, and for the first time in years, they talked for over an hour. Derek visited the following weekend, bringing photo albums to look through together. Here's your immediate action step. Take time right now to recall specific moments when your adult child demonstrated qualities you admire. Write down these memories with details. When it happened, who was there, what exactly they did, and how it made you feel. The next time you talk, use exactly these words. I was thinking about that time when you... and share one of these specific memories. Make sure it highlights a quality they value in themselves. This isn't flattery, it's recognition of who they truly are. Wouldn't you like your child to know you see and appreciate their best qualities? Phrase 5. No pressure, but the invitation is always open. How many times have your invitations felt more like obligations to your children? Do they sense disappointment or resentment when they can't accept? This crucial phrase creates space for authentic connection without pressure. Relationship counselors at the Family Reconnection Institute state that removing obligation increases genuine desire to connect. Their research shows that when adult children feel they have complete freedom to accept or decline invitations without emotional consequences, they paradoxically become more likely to accept them. The psychological principle at work here is reactance theory, explains Dr. Samantha Willis, director of the Institute. When people feel their autonomy is threatened, they resist. When they feel completely free to choose, they're more likely to choose connection. Thomas from Seattle experienced this firsthand with his daughter Allison. For years, he had pressured her to attend Sunday dinners, making her feel guilty when she couldn't make it. Their relationship had become tense, with Allison visiting out of obligation rather than desire. Everything changed when Thomas sent her a simple text. I'm making lasagna this Sunday. No pressure, but the invitation is always open. Would love to see you if you're free, but I completely understand if you're not. The difference was immediate. Allison, feeling freed from obligation, actually rearranged her schedule to attend. What's more, she began stopping by spontaneously on weeknights, something she'd never done before. When Dad removed the pressure, I remembered how much I actually enjoy spending time with him, she later explained. Here's what you need to do. Create standing invitations without expectations attached. Use exactly these words. No pressure, but the invitation is always open. Then genuinely mean it. Show no disappointment if they decline. Your emotional response when they can't attend is crucial. If you show genuine understanding when they can't make it, they'll be more likely to say yes next time. Isn't unconditional love what you've always wanted to give your children anyway? Phrase 6. I'd love to learn more about your interest, project, work. When was the last time you showed genuine curiosity about your adult child's world? Not just polite questions, but real interest in understanding what makes them tick. This phrase opens doors to meaningful connection by shifting focus to their interests and passions. Studies from the Relationship Research Institute show that showing genuine interest in others' lives creates reciprocal attention and deepens emotional bonds. Their research indicates that people are naturally drawn to those who show authentic curiosity about their experiences. Active interest in another person's world is one of the most powerful connecting forces we've identified in our research, says Dr. Jonathan Mills, lead researcher at the Institute. When parents demonstrate genuine curiosity about their adult children's lives, it validates their choices and creates natural opportunities for meaningful exchange. Martha from Oregon had drifted apart from her son Kyle after he started his own business. Their conversations had become superficial check-ins rather than meaningful exchanges. Martha decided to change this by learning about his business, not to check up on him, but to understand this important part of his life. She called Kyle and said, "I'd love to learn more about your marketing agency. What kinds of projects are you working on these days? It seems so interesting, and I realized I don't know much about what your day-to-day work actually involves." Kyle was surprised and pleased by her interest. What started as a brief explanation turned into a 2-hour conversation about his professional challenges and successes. This led to regular coffee meetings where Kyle would share updates about his business, seeking her perspective on client situations. Their relationship deepened significantly through these conversations. Here's your immediate action step. Identify one aspect of your adult child's life that you don't fully understand but is important to them. Their career, hobby, parenting philosophy, or creative pursuits. Reach out specifically to learn more about this area, using these exact words. I'd love to learn more about your interest, project, work. Then listen actively without judgment or unsolicited advice. Ask follow-up questions that show you're truly absorbing what they're sharing. Wouldn't it be wonderful to truly understand what matters to your child right now? Phrase 7. I appreciate our time together, no matter how brief. How do you respond when your child can only spend a short time with you? Do you make comments about how quickly they're leaving, or do you express genuine gratitude for whatever time they can give? This final phrase transforms brief encounters into stepping stones to deeper connection. Gratitude experts at the Positive Psychology Center confirm that expressing specific appreciation reinforces desired behaviors and creates positive associations that make people want to repeat those behaviors. When we express genuine gratitude for someone's presence, no matter how brief, we create positive emotional associations with the interaction, explains Dr. Laura Jenkins, gratitude researcher. This makes the other person more likely to seek out similar interactions in the future. David from Michigan learned this lesson with his children after years of commenting on how short their visits were. His daughter and son would dash in and out, clearly uncomfortable. After adopting this technique, David completely changed his approach. When his son Jeff stopped by for just 15 minutes on his way to a meeting, instead of his usual, "That's it? You're leaving already," David said. "I appreciate our time together, no matter how brief. It means a lot that you made time to see me today." Jeff was visibly relieved by this response. The next week he stopped by again, this time staying for over an hour. When David asked why, Jeff admitted, "I've been avoiding longer visits because I always felt guilty when I had to leave. Now that I know short visits are okay too, I feel more comfortable dropping by more often." Here's what you need to do immediately. The next time your child visits, even if it's much shorter than you'd like, use these exact words. I appreciate our time together, no matter how brief. Express sincere gratitude for their presence without any hint of wanting more. Focus on the quality of your interaction rather than its duration. After they leave, send a brief text reinforcing how much you enjoyed seeing them. Wouldn't you rather have frequent short visits than rare extended ones that feel obligatory? These 7 phrases have transformed countless parent-child relationships, bringing families back together when they seemed permanently disconnected. Eleanor, Richard, Barbara, William, Susan, Thomas, Martha, and David all discovered that small changes in how they communicated led to profound shifts in their relationships with their adult children. Now you have these same powerful tools at your fingertips. Remember, these aren't manipulation tactics. They're communication strategies that respect your children's autonomy while creating space for authentic connection. They work because they address the real reasons adult children often limit their visits: pressure, guilt, one-sided conversations, and lack of meaningful engagement. By changing how you communicate, you transform how your children experience their relationship with you. You now have 7 powerful phrases that can rebuild bridges and strengthen bonds with your adult children starting today. Each phrase addresses a different aspect of connection, from making them feel valued and respected to creating enjoyable shared experiences. The real magic happens when you use all 7 as part of a new approach to your relationship. Your children want to connect with you. They just need the right environment to do it authentically. You can create that environment starting with your very next conversation. Hit the like button right now and comment below which phrase you're going to try first. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more relationship-saving advice that will help you enjoy meaningful connections with your loved ones. Share this video with friends who might be missing their children too. They'll thank you for changing their family dynamics forever.